Hello students, in the last lecture we did 10 MCQ related to the electric potential. That was a level 1. If you haven't downloaded the question, please download from the link given in the description of the video. Now let us move to question number 11. A point charge Q is placed at a distance d from the center of an uncharged conducting sphere of radius r. So we have a conducting sphere. So it is a conductor having the radius r and a point charge is placed at a distance d from its center. What is the potential of the sphere? What is the potential of the sphere? Now see, the sphere is conducting. When we bring or keep a charge here, there will be the redistribution of the charges. That is, the induction will be there, and this will be the distribution of the charges on a sphere. Now, if I want to find out the potential of this sphere, the total charge is 0. So, potential of the sphere, so you have to find out the potential of the sphere. So, this potential of sphere due to induced charge is 0. Why? Because there are equal number of positive and negative charges. So the only source left is this plus Q. So potential of sphere due to induced charge is 0. So potential is only due to point charge. What should be the potential due to point charge? So that should be equal to kq upon distance. So this answer should be equal to, so in this option they have given capital Q, and in the place of k they have written 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So it is option number B. So this is MCQ number 11. Now MCQ number 12. Two concentric uniformly charged sphere of radius 10 cm and 20 cm are arranged as shown in the figure. So now we have two spheres which are kept concentric to each other. Say this is sphere 1, this is sphere 2. The radius is 10 cm and 20 cm. So the radius of this, let us say it is R1, the radius of outer sphere is R2. So R1 is equal to 10 cm and R2 is equal to 20 cm. And the charge given on the inner sphere is 10 coulomb and that on the outer sphere is 20 coulomb. We have to find out the potential difference between these two spheres. So let the potential of this sphere is V1. So let us take this as point P and this point as P dash. So we have to find out the potential of the individual sphere and then we will find its potential difference. So what is the potential of the outer sphere? So potential at point P is equal to, now as we have learned in the previous lecture, now when I have to find out the potential at this point, see the spheres are uniformly charged, so you have to do the work against both the spheres. So because there are two sources, here we have a charge Q1, Q2, so you write this as Vp plus Vp. Now this Vp due to itself. So potential at P due to this outer sphere or due to Q2, and this Vp due to inner sphere. So we will study this like the total potential at point P is potential at P due to its own charge and due to the inner sphere. Now potential due to this, that is equal to K Q2 upon R2 plus potential due to inner sphere. So the entire charge of this is assumed to be concentrated at its center. So it should be K Q1 upon R1. R2. So this is potential at point P. Now potential at P dash. So Vp dash is equal to Vp dash plus Vp dash. Now Vp dash due to Q2 and it is inside. So for this sphere, P dash is inside due to Q1 surface. Like this. This is due to itself means surface. This is, when you take this point, it is outside. So you have to mention this also, it is outside. Now potential at P dash due to Q2 inside. Inside the potential remains constant. So K Q2 upon R2. So work is done up to point P inside. It remains constant. Plus surface, that is K Q1 upon R1. Now if we compare this, you find that this both terms are same. So we are dependent on the radius. The radius inner is small. So inner sphere in such situation is always at a high potential. So Vp dash minus Vp is equal to K Q1 upon R1 minus K Q1 upon R2. That is K Q1 is common, 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. So this is equal to K, that is 9 into 10 raised to 9. Q1, that is 10 coulomb. 1 upon R1. So this can be written as 0.1 meter. This can be written as 0.2 meter. So 1 upon 0.1 meter minus 1 upon 0.2 meter. This is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 into 10. This is 1 upon 0.1, that is 10. 1 upon 0.2, that is 5. So it will be 10 into 5, 5. So this is equal to 450, or we take this term here. So 45 into 10 raised to 10 volt. So it should be 45. So option number A, that is 4.5 into 10 raised to 11 volt. So this is option number A. So this is how you find out the potential difference between the two spheres which are concentric with each other. Now next question, question number 13. In the uniform field, all points are at the same potential. So we have a different option. Now the field given is uniform. So let us consider a uniform field. So let us consider the uniform field is along x-axis. So this is the uniform field, electric field along the x-axis that are equidistant and parallel to each other. Lines are parallel and equidistant. Now first is all points are at the same potential. So now let us consider two equipotential surface. We know if the field is in xy plane, is in along the x-axis, then the equipotential surface is along the yz plane. So let us say this is an equipotential surface. This is equipotential surface. This is another equipotential surface. So this is first equipotential surface and this is second equipotential surface. Now it says first option, we have to find out, eliminate the wrong options. All the points are at the same potential. So if I take a point, suppose I take point A and point B, and here I take a point C and point D. So it is clear that the potential of A and B is same, C and D is same, but potential of A and C is not same. So the first option is eliminated because it is not necessary that all the points should be at the same potential. Only the points which are on the same equipotential surface are having the equal potential. Second, pair of points separated by the same distance must have a same potential difference. So it is a pair of points separated by the same distance must have a same potential difference. So we have to take a pair of points. Suppose this is one pair, A and B. Let the distance between them is D. So VA is equal to VB. Now same distance, another pair, but this is not equal to VC is equal to VD. So if I consider this as one pair and this as another pair, the distance between AB and CD is same, but their potential is not same. So here it is given that a pair of points separated by the same distance must have a same potential difference. So what is the potential difference between A and B? That is 0. Potential difference between C and D, that is 0. But when I find out the potential difference, when I compare the pair, this 0 is not same as that of this C and D. Or you can also find out, you can take these two pairs, say A and C. Again, suppose it is separated by D. This is separated by D. So we find that AC will potential difference between A and C, and the potential difference between B and D would be same, but not in this case. So it is not always correct that a pairs of points separated by the same distance must have a same potential difference. So B option is also eliminated. Then no two points have a same potential. Now it is clear A, B and CD have a same potential, so C is also eliminated. So the option left is only D, and that is given as none. So none of the above options are correct. That is 30. Now question number 14. Again, we have two concentric metallic spheres. So two conducting spheres are given of radius R1. It is given that R1 is greater than R2. Bear a charge Q1 and Q2 respectively. So Q1, Q2 are the charges. The geometry is similar to MCQ number 12. Then what is the potential at a distance r, small r, between R1 and R2? So we have to find out the potential at any point between, say this is point P, which is at a distance small r. So r is between, small r is between capital R1 and R2. You have to find out the potential at point P. So again I will write like this, potential at P is equal to, there are two sources VP, VP. This will be due to Q1, that is inside, due to Q2, that is outside. So we apply the formula of inside outside. So K Q1, inside it is R1. So on the surface of this R1 or inside, the potential is constant. outside k q2 upon distance between test and source, or like this. So this is equal to, if I take k as a common, so it becomes q1 upon r1 plus q2 upon small r. So k q2 upon small r and q1 upon r1, that is option number C. So this is an MCQ number 14. Now let us see MCQ number 15, which is again related to electric potential, and then we will start the MCQ related with the capacitor level 1. A charge Q is fixed at each of the point. So again we have a charge small q fixed at each of the point x is equal to x naught, x is equal to 3x naught, equal to 5x naught up to infinite on x-axis. So that is at a odd distance. Let us say this is an origin. So this is plus q charge, that is at a distance x naught. Then we have another plus charge at 3x naught, then another plus q at 5x naught. Like this, the series is infinite. Then we have a negative charge fixed on a even distance. That is, here we have a minus sign, that is minus charge. Distance is 2x naught. Minus q charge, distance is x at 4x naught. Then we have minus q 6x naught, like this up to infinite. Take the potential at a point due to the charge q at a distance small r from it to be kq upon r. Then the potential at the origin due to the above system of the charges will be, so the small q charge is fixed at each of this point. Then it is given, take the potential at a point due to charge capital Q at a distance r from it to be kq upon r. Then the potential at the origin due to the above system of the charges is. So we have to find out the potential at the origin due to the above system of the charges, and the general formula, it is given that if we consider a small r distance, then the potential formula is, we know that it should be kq upon r. So we have to take the help of this formula that we already know. So they have given that at a common variable, that is small r is considered to be a variable. Here we have a variable as x naught, 2x naught, 3x naught, like this. So you take the potential like this. So I have to find out the potential at origin. So it should be k q upon x naught, then minus k q upon 2x naught plus k q upon 3x naught minus kq upon 4x naught, like this terms goes on. So if we take a common, it is kq upon x naught is common. So 1 minus half plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 5 minus 1 by 6 plus dash 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 up to infinite. Now see, the mathematics students know the formula for log 1 plus x. Now log 1 plus x is equal to, that is x minus x square by 2 plus x cube by 3 minus x is to 4 by 4 plus x is to 5 by 5. So this is the formula the mathematics students know, and it goes on up to infinite. So if I take this x as 1, so it should be 1 minus half. So what should be the value of x to get this series? So if x is equal to 1, then this will be written as log 2, and therefore log 2 becomes 1 minus half plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 6, like this. So this entire value V naught is equal to kq upon x naught log of 2. So in the place of k, we have 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So this is option D. So these are the basic MCQ related to the potential. Now in the chapter we have two parts, potential and capacitor. So we try to use the formula which are theoretical or which we have derived. That was a direct application of all the formulas that we know. So that is known as level 1. Now for the second part, again we will take a capacitor having the numericals related to the level 1, that is the basic numericals, the basic concept of the capacitor, and then after 2 lectures we will move on to the level 2, which will require a theoretical knowledge as well as few derivations will be involved in that numerical. It will not be a direct application of the formula we know. So you download that capacitor numerical in another file. Again, it will be given in the link. So we have taken 2 parts in this chapter. One is a potential, that is level 1, and capacitor level 1. Similarly, we will take level 2 for potential and level 2 for capacitor. So let us move to the capacitor numericals. MCQ number 1 of a capacitor. Now few derivation we did this in our NCERT book. So there were few derivation which were as a part of our theory, and there were few numericals where we derived the formula. There may be many formulas which we have not done, so that also you have to make a list. So I will be making the list here. You note down that formula also. Now let us move to MCQ number 1. The stratosphere acts as a conducting layer for the earth. If the stratosphere extends beyond 50 km from the surface of the earth, then calculate the capacitance of a spherical capacitor formed between stratosphere and the earth's surface. So in this first numerical, suppose this is earth. We know its radius is r, that is 6400 km. So we assume it is a spherical, and this layer above the earth, that is a stratosphere, it is 50 km above the earth. We have to find out the capacitance of the spherical capacitor formed between the stratosphere and the earth's surface. So we assume that both are spheres. So it is a spherical capacitor. This is a spherical capacitor where one sphere is kept concentric with the other sphere. Now if you know, we did this formula in our NCERT textbook. So the formula of the spherical capacitor, so spherical capacitor formula was equal to C spherical was equal to 4 pi epsilon naught radius of the two sphere, then the outer radius minus inner radius. So this was the situation. So we have to simply substitute the value R1, that is greater than R2. R1 is greater than R2. So here R1 should be the radius of the stratosphere. So R1 is equal to, total distance is calculated from the center. So 6400 plus 50, that is 6450 kilometer. So that is equal to 6450 meter. Then R2, that is Earth itself, that is equal to 64 into 10 raised to 3 meter. So now you have to simply substitute both the values. So if you remember this formula, then this is the direct application. So the first formula you have to remember for the spherical capacitor is 4 pi epsilon naught R1 R2 upon R1 minus R2, where R1 is greater than R2. Now if you remember, we also did a theory where if a capacitor is very large, its dimension is very large, then an isolated sphere can also behave like a capacitor, and the formula for that was, so again, that is isolated sphere can behave like capacitor. So if we have a single isolated sphere and it is charged, suppose this is plus charge, its radius is very large. Suppose Earth itself behave like a capacitor because its radius is very large. So if you remember, we found the potential for it, and we know the potential is kq by r. Therefore, V upon Q is written as K upon R, and this is equal to 1 by C. V by Q is equal to 1 by C. So C is equal to R upon K. So that was 4 pi epsilon naught R. So if we consider a single sphere, it can also behave like a capacitor. And then if you remember, we also did a theory related to the cylindrical capacitor. And the formula for the cylindrical capacitor was 2 pi epsilon naught, the length, divided by ln b by a. This is a log having base e, so it should be converted into the log having base 10, so it should be multiplied by 2.303, that you know. So this should be the cylindrical capacitor. So this is first MCQ. You substitute the values and verify the answer for it. Calculation is left as an exercise. Question number 2. A cylindrical capacitor has two coaxial cylinder of length 15 centimeter. So again we have a cylindrical capacitor, that is a direct application. L is equal to 15 centimeter. Two radius are given, so we have to take here B by A is a outer radius and this is a inner radius. So we have B, let us denote it by B. You remember it as outer radius divided by inner radius. So this is 1.5 and A is equal to 1.4 centimeter. So this is 1.5, this is 1.4. The outer cylinder is earthed. So outer cylinder is earthed, so its potential becomes 0. Say whenever any conductor is earthed, its potential should be 0, but that does not mean that its charge should be 0. So a conductor which is earthed has a 0 potential, but that necessarily does not mean that the potential is, the charge on it is 0. So we will discuss that case sometime. Now the outer cylinder is earthed and the inner cylinder is given a charge. Q is equal to 3.5 microcoulomb. Determine the potential of inner sphere. So outer sphere, say any conductor which is earthed should have zero potential, that you remember. So directly you apply this formula. The length is given log 1.5 divided by 1.4, that is 15 by 14. So this is a direct application of the formula. So first two MCQ are the direct application of the formula. Now let us move to the third MCQ. The capacity of a condenser A is 1 microfarad. Now we have a capacitor sum. So we have one capacitor. The capacitor is A and its value is 1 microfarad. So let CA is equal to 1 microfarad. It is filled with a medium of dielectric constant 15. So when the dielectric is been filled, we know the capacitance becomes K times. So here becomes K times CA, that becomes 15 microfarad. So we know that the capacity increases on the introduction of a dielectric material. The capacity of another condenser B is 1 microfarad. So CB is 1 microfarad. So we have two capacitors A and B. Both are separately charged by a battery of 100 volt. After charging, the two condensers are connected in parallel without battery and without dielectric. So both the capacitors are charged with the battery of 100 volt. So both are separately charged. And after charging, both the condensers are connected in parallel without battery and the dielectric. Find out the common potential. So see the situation. First capacitor, when the dielectric is introduced, it is charged with the potential of 100 volt. So I can easily find out the charge deposited on it. So that charge deposited on it will be Ca dash into V. So that is equal to 15 micro into 100. Both are being charged with a voltage of 100. So this is equal to 1500 microcoulomb. This is the total charge deposited on it. Capacitor B. Say this is capacitor B. Again it is connected with a battery. V is equal to 100 volt. So its charge, total charge will be CB into V, that is 1 into 100, that is 100 microcoulomb. This is the situation initially. Now both are connected parallel to each other without battery and without dielectric. Without battery and without dielectric. Now we know that when the capacitor is charged with this, total charge deposited is this much. On CB or B capacitor is this much. Charge remains constant. It can neither be created nor destroyed. Now you have to find out the common potential. So this is the capacitor A, but now what is the situation? There is no dielectric. This is capacitor B. So whether we have a dielectric or we don't have a dielectric, the charge remains constant. So here the charge deposited is QA, the charge deposited on this is QB, even after the removal of a battery. But now its capacity should be CA taken, this should be taken as CB. What will happen? The potential difference on both is 100, but now since their capacitance differ, the potential will also change. So the potential of one capacitor will decrease and the potential of the other capacitor will increase. So we have to find out the common potential. So for this situation, I will write common potential to be the total charge of the system divided by the total capacitance of the system. Now what is the total charge? That is QA plus QB upon what is the C equivalent? So it should be CA plus CB. So this is equal to 1500 plus 100, that is 1600 microcoulomb divided by 1 plus 1, that is again it is micro is cancelled. So VC is equal to 800 volt. So we have this as option number C. So the common potential formula, you also remember this common potential formula, VC is equal to Q1 plus Q2 upon C1 plus C2. This is 1. And this Q1 can also be written as C1 V1 plus C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2. Say Q1. So that Q1 was written as C1 V1 C2 V2. So directly we can apply this formula also. So C1, but initially this C1 was filled with a dielectric. So this is MCQ number 3. MCQ number 4. Again it is a basic direct application. If the distance between the plate of capacitor is made half and the area is doubled, what is the new capacitance? So that is 4C is equal to epsilon naught A by D, C dash epsilon naught, area is doubled, so 2A, distance is half, that is D by 2, so it becomes 4 epsilon naught A by D, so answer becomes 4C. That is capacitance becomes 4 times. MCQ number 5, that is capacitor C, 2C, 4C dash dash infinite are connected in parallel, then what is their effective capacitance? So we have a capacitor C, 2C, 4C dash 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 infinite. They all are connected in parallel combination. So that is, this is C, 2C, 4C dash dash dash. This is C infinite. It is connected with a battery. Now see, only 3 terms are given. C, 2C, 4C. We don't know whether the fourth term is 6C or 8C. So we cannot apply the formula for a geometric series. Therefore, C equivalent in parallel combination we know is the sum of all capacitance. So C is taken common. It becomes 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus dash 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 up to infinite. Now we don't know whether it is 6 or 8. Otherwise, we can find out what type of series it is. So we take this summation as infinite. So C equivalent should be equal to, if this is infinite, infinite into C, that should be considered as infinite. So this is option number D. So we wind up our lecture for today. Now in the next lecture we will continue the capacitor MCQ, that is the level 1 only. You can practice that numerical before referring this solution. Have a nice day.